ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। 134 तस्करा तस्करौ चौर्य शङ्कया तलरक्षकैः गृहीतौ न कृतं चौर्यमित्याहतुरुभावपि। The eighth doubt or question is, if there is no distinction in the mode of death of both Ajnani and Jnani, how is that? The Jnani gets liberated and Ajnani continues his samsara. So that is the question for which answer is given. This is on account of the distinction between them, between Jnani and Ajnani in terms of Satya Abhisandhatvam and Anruta Abhisandhatvam. Satyandruta Abhisandhatvam means Satya Abhisandhatvam. The Jnani is committed to the truth, Ajnani is committed to Anruta, false. That is the reason why one continues in samsara, other gets liberated. For which the illustration is given, that of two persons being taken to custody on the charge of theft. And when asked, both of them denied the charge. So now what is being done? Let us see the Tapta Parashu, that is the test is being subjected to. They are being subjected to this test of Tapta Parashu. Grinnita Parashum Taptam Tautayostascaro Nrutam Abhisandhaya Dagdha San Hanyate Talarakshakaihi. Tau Taptam Parashum Grannitaha Tayoho Taskaraha Andrutam Abhisandhaya Dagdhaha San Talarakshakaihi Hanyate. Dagdhaha San Talarakshakaihi Hanyate. Tau, both of them, what did they do? Taptam Parashum Grinnhitaha. Both of them caught a red hot, a small axe. Small axe. Means they are asked to hold it in their hand, one by one. So what happened now? Tayoho, of those two, Taskaraha, the actual thief. Actually there was the thief, other was not a thief at all. The Taskaraha, thief, what happened to him? He got his hand burnt. Andrutam Abhisandhaya. Andrutam, lie. Lie, Abhisandhaya means having declared solemnly, means having told, having preferred to tell the lie. What happened? Dagdhaha San, being burned. Some upasana must be there, some power, divine power must be there because of this. That is what the king was doing for judiciary. So, therefore, Dagdhaha San, being burned, means his hand got burned. So, it was proved that he is the one who is the thief. So, the order was given to kill him. Talarakshakaihi hanyate. By the policeman, he is killed because he is proved to be guilty. So what happens to the other one? So in his case, what is the defect? Andrutam Abhisandhaya means Andruta Abhisandhi, that committedness to falsehood, to lie. That is what therefore because of it he was punished. What about the one who was not a thief? Ataskara Satya Sandho Nadagdho Muchyate Chataihi. Ajnanyandruta Sandhotra Satya Sandhastu Tattvavit. अतस्करः सत्यसन्धः न दग्धः तैः च मुच्यते अत्र अज्ञानी अनृतसन्धः तत्त्ववित् तु सत्यसन्धः अतस्करः, the one who was not a thief. So satyasandha, he is what? He told the truth. So satyasandha means he was faithful to his words, he was true to his words, or he adhered to truth. That was satyasandha. And therefore nadagdhaha, his hand didn't get burned. Therefore he was not burned, and therefore seeing that it is not burned, and therefore what he said was true, he is not a thief. Seeing that, of course, king must have ordered the policeman to release him. So therefore taihi means talarakshakaihi, by those policemen. What happened? Taihi cha muchyate, he is being released. So in this manner, the distinction between these two, what? Atra means here atra means, now he takes to drishtanta. Mrutau, in the context of marana. Whose marana? Jnani and ajnani, both. In the context of the mruti. Mruti means marana of both jnani and ajnani. The question was what? If the mode of death or the order, the krama of death is same for both, how is that the jnani is released from samsara without rebirth, whereas this ajnani is caught up in samsara with rebirth, future? So therefore he says, mrutau, in the context of marana of both jnani and ajnani, ajnani anrutasandhaha. So ajnani is the one who is anrutasandha, means attached to falsehood. Falsehood, anatma, beginning from his body to entire jagat. So ajnani anrutasandha. Whereas tattvavittu, to draw the contrast now, tattvavit, jnani tu satyasandhaha, adheres to truth, because he knows what the truth is, swarupa is, and jagat is false. He has nothing to do with the jagat. So nothing to do with jagat. See, one thing should be kept in mind. Advaita is in paramartha. The paramarthe advaitaha natu vyavahare. That should be very careful. So in Vyavahara, Advaita is not there. That is where the norms of dharma come. But Paramartha, in terms of knowledge and making the mind get absorbed, the truth has to be taken to. That is a very important thing. So that's why I say, for example, Lord Krishna himself said, Kshama, Shanti, etc., that he gives in 12th chapter. But Krishna is the one who had taken Duryodhana to talk. So this should be, in Vyavahara, never the Advaita has to be brought. One has to get guided by Shastra. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam te Karya Karya Vyavastav. In Vyavahara, what is to be done and what is not to be done, one should get guided by what? The Shastras. So Lord Krishna himself said. But Paramarthataha, the one non-dual Swarupa has to be discovered. Otherwise, you are identified with what? Your own the embodiment. And what is that? Plight of this who? Taskaraha. So the continues, samsara continues. So we should not put the Paramartha in the wrong context. So Tattva Vittu Satyasandhaha adheres to truth. So thereby what happens? This distinction arises. Though the Maranakrama is same for both, one gets liberated, other doesn't. So illustration is applied to the Darshtanta. Means that actual context is being applied now. Martyohamiti sandhaya mriyate jayate cha saha. Brahmahamiti sandhaya muchyate na cha jayate. Saha martyaha aham iti sandhaya. Sandhaya jayate mriyate. Brahmahamiti sandhaya. Add Vidwan nacha Vidwan muchyate nacha jayate. Muchyate nacha jayate. Saha, he. Who is that he? Avidwan. Avidwan, Ajnani. What happens to him? Because of this, his mistake. This mistake, what is that? Martyaha aham iti sandhaya. Sandhaya, having conceived, having mistaken. What having mistaken what? Martyaha aham. I am mortal. I am a samsari. Means identifying with the body. Identifying the body, taking the embodiment as I. Not only that, plus, what else? Jagat is Satyam. Jagat Satyam. And Deha is me. This is what? Martyaha ahamiti sandhaya. That means Jagat Satyatva also is implied in that. So I am the body embodiment. The world is true. So that is what? Because of this wrong notion, having conceived like this, what happens? Jayate mriyate. So Jayate, because see, if that is the case, he has got many things to accomplish in the world, from the world, for which what he has to do? Merely desiring is not enough. One has to act. Karma means what? Karma phala. Chakkar start. Therefore he says, Jayate mriyate. This is the plight of this Ajnani. Whereas, now this, who? Brahmahamiti sandhaya vidwan. Vidwan jnani. Sandhaya, having recognized what? Brahmaham. I am Brahma Swarupa. I am Brahma Swarupa, and Brahma is Sat Advaya Swarupa. Therefore, what is Jagat now? Jagat is Mithya. See, Jagat is Mithya. It becomes clear in the wake of direct cognition that I am Brahma, and Jagat, basis of Jagat is what? Brahma. So, therefore, see, just as when you see the rope, actually you can say the snake is false. Without seeing the rope, actually, can you say the snake is false? Maybe your friend has told you, hey, what a fool you are. That is what? It is not a snake. It is what? Rope. And you have your friend is a Harishchandra. That's all. So you have got full faith in whom? Your friend. But still you have not seen the rope. At night, what happened, Some sound came. I think that that snake must be chasing. Snakes have got that habit. If they are hurt, they will not leave the person. And do you know how they recognize the person? From the footsteps. They say, not talking, they can't hear. Snakes can't hear. But they recognize the individual from the footstep, and they do chase it. Such many instances are there in villages. There are very dangerous guys there. So I think that fellow has changed. My friend must be wrong. He must have committed a mistake. So that we are still not there. It's a paroksha jnana only, not aparoksha jnana. But when you have seen with the light, it is not the snake but a rope. What happens? Snake is mithya. Earlier, because your friend said, you say it is not, it is a mithya, but you can repeat also, it is mithya like a parrot. But real fear will not go. So therefore, here the Brahma Sakshatkara, Atma Sakshatkara, Atma Anubhava leading to the Brahma is me. So therefore, that is important. So that one has done, and therefore Jagat as mithya one has discovered. So what happens? Muchyati, gets freed from this bondage of samsara. Moksha he gets. Nacha jayati, he is not reborn. He is not reborn. This is the distinction. Mode of death is what? One and the same. Sat Sampatti also is same. But the Ajnani Sat Sampatti of what use? Useful. What for? To inquire. After inquire and gain the knowledge. But that itself is, that's why sleep is a blessing. Sleep is a blessing otherwise also. Because only problem that if it comes at a wrong place. Poor Lakshmana had to suffer, you know that? Lakshmana had to suffer because the sleep came at the wrong place. Coronation was going on, Rama's, and you can imagine the role of Lakshmana in the entire Ramayana. Like Hanuman, what role he had there? So if the Rama is the flag, Lakshmana is the staff of the flag, as it were. So, but what had happened? 14 years in Vanavasa, he had not slept. That some power boon was there for him. And it was necessary. Do you know why? All avatara plans, everything properly, Ishvara by Sankalpa only plans. Because Indrajit had to be killed. Indrajit can be killed by a person because he had the boon. Only a person who has kept awake for 14 years. Nobody else can kill him. That was the case. So therefore, he was keeping the guard on the Rama and Sita day and night also vigil, because all demons etc. and wild animals when they sleep, that means it's a danger for them. So he had told Nidra Devi, I will give you a chance when this is over. So return, coronation is going on, and he is an honorable person who Lakshmana, he was sitting enjoying that. So what happened? Sleep totally overpowered him. When sleep overpowered, Lakshmana smiled. He said, at what time you are overpowering me? Right? This is an occasion to what? Rejoice, because Rama is now being coronated. You know who saw it? Rama saw it, and of all the wind, Rama misunderstood it. See, Lakshmana is smiling because all along Vanavasa, who suffered? Me. Now who is sitting on the throne? Can Lakshmana ever think of it? My God, that is what is devotion. You know, Chitrakuta, they reached Chitrakuta. So Chitrakuta. So at that time, Rama said, Lakshmana, find a suitable place and catch a hut. Lakshmana started crying. Sita also saw, she was also surprised. Lakshmana, what is wrong with you? Your brother has not abused you. He has not scolded you. What is this? So Rama also asked, what is this? Why? What have I done? He said, I have totally surrendered to you, and you are asking me. She said, what crime have I done? Who? Lakshmana said, why? I have surrendered to you, and you are asking me to spot a suitable place. Means decision is who? Whose decision? Master means you are asking me to decide when I have surrendered to you, what crime have I done? That is what Lakshmana. So will he ever think that I have done all this and this? But how misunderstanding can come? Rama misunderstood what? Lakshmana must be thinking, right, that such misunderstanding, it was between Rama and Krishna, no problem cropped up, okay? Because both have got the proper understanding. In other cases, what? Another Mahabharata can come out of one single misunderstanding as such. So, I did all this thing and he is saying that is what who Rama misunderstood. It was not the case. So, like that, sleep is a problem if it comes at a wrong place. Okay? It's a problem if it comes in Vedanta class. Generally it comes, but it is a problem as such. So, otherwise it is a boon to replenish with what? Refresh our body. Not only that, from Vedanta, greatest boon. If Vedanta, they sleep, you are not there, you can't arrive at your Swarupa free from Jagat. So, unless you have to go to Samadhi. Samadhi is not possible for all as such. It needs a lot of practice. So day-to-day sleep can help. That's why they say Jnana, Atma Jnana can be gained better in the human embodiment. Heavenly denizens, their embodiment is not designed for that, because there is no sleep. No sleep and bhoga only, Vishaya bhoga only, Vairagya is not there. So what is that? So how can the fellow Vairagya can be inculcated, and how can the necessity of gaining the knowledge can be, that is what, imparted them in the human embodiment. Do thappad milte hai in life, then what happens? The fellows get shaken up, and then little Viveka Vairagya can be. So developed as such. So therefore, so that one can shake off the Jagat, one's Swarupa is free from Jagat, including the embodiment. Sleep, if properly analyzed, can help. So therefore, it is something great. So, though the sleep is same, not sleep. So the Marana, that means Krama, is same for them. So that is Sat Sampatti is same for them. So how one this thing? This is the answer. What is that? One has got the Martyayati Ansandhaya, having conceived that I am mortal, I am the body, etc. is me, Jagat is true. He gets reborn and continues samsara. Other one, Brahma Hamiti Sandhaya Vidwan Muchyate, gets freed, liberated, not reborn. So with this, the 8 doubts from in which 1 or 2 are questions, the doubts and that answer are over. Now in this 138 stanza, so once again the author reminds us, author means here Vidyaranya Muni, so reminds us, so the reason why Tattvamasi, 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 at the end of each of the answer to each of these 8 questions, what he has said in the first, when the first doubt was answered, we have seen same thing. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi was, you are that Brahma was repeated. Why that Tattvamasi is repeated? Just to, that is, to make one understand, the answer was already given. Where it was given? In 116, the reason why the Tattvamasi, the Upadesha is repeated was told as Chittaikagraya. Already, answer is already given. Why it is repeated? In 116, Chittaikagraya. To make the mind of the seeker get absorbed where? Single pointed means get absorbed in the Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa. It was said, but again the author reminds. He is not telling something new. So by this, by repeated Tattvamasi, nothing new is going to be gained. The Tattva was already unfolded, but only the doubts are clarified, dispelled. Otherwise, as far as Swarupa is concerned, there is nothing plus that is added on account of this repetition. Buddhi dosham samadhatum drishtantastaistavatra kim. Tvam sadevetyabhipretya navakritva upadisha. Add tava buddhi dosham samadhatum, add eva, drishtantaha, add uktaha. Tava to be added, buddhi dosham samadhatum, add further eva, drishtantaha, add uktaha. Taihi tava atra kim. Tvam, add tu, sad eva, add sada, sad eva, add sada, iti abhipretya navakrutvaha upadisha, navakrutvaha upadisha. Buddhi dosham samadhatum, tava buddhi dosham, tava means who? SVETAKETU, O SVETAKETU, to samadhatum, to dispel, to, that means to remove your buddhi dosha. What is buddhi dosha? Samshaya. To dispel your doubts, drishtantaha uktaha. 8 illustrations were given. So, and with 8 illustrations, every time Tattvamasi is repeated. Means earlier Tattvamasi, the truth was revealed. So, totally 9 times. So, therefore, drishtantaha ukta. But, father is asking, guru is asking, taihi, by those drishtantas, see, tava atra kim, atra means, in gaining the knowledge, kim, what are you going to get out of it? Nothing you are going to get. Nothing you are going to get means, not that the doubts are not dispelled. Doubts are dispelled. But as far as Swarupa is concerned, it is of this is of no use. Means, nakimapi, tatra, tava atra kim, kim means like a kaku prayoga. So, nakimapi, you are not going to achieve anything on account of that as far as the Swarupa is concerned. No doubt, purpose is what? Dispelling the doubt. That is agreed. Manana is agreed. But as far as the Swarupa is concerned, there is nothing changed. The one and the same that is there means from your Swarupa standpoint, these drishtantas are not going to add something special to them. So what I told in the very first instance, that you are nothing but Sat Swarupa Brahma, that Sat Anima etc. was told, that is there, that stands as it is. There is nothing special that can be added because of repetition. So it is only to remove your doubts, because the doubts, and so doubts are there. What ones? Again, why he had doubts? What was the problem with SVETAKETU? Lack of Shraddha and extroverted, Bahirmukha. So that was Shraddhasva, beta, have Shraddha. And that means, so that was that he had appealed to his son. Whereas that means, you are not going to accomplish something special on account of repetition. Why? Because Tvam tu, whereas you are what? Sadeva Sada. You are nothing but Sat only. Even before I taught you, you are Sat. Even now, you are Sat. After also, Sat only. Even when the body falls off, you are nothing but Sat. So, don't think. Before gaining the knowledge, he was what? Truly a samsari, a Sat. And then he became Sat. No. If that is the case, Sat will get destroyed because it gets transformed. So, it is not so. So, therefore, you were Sat Brahma, but you mistook to be the body. When the ignorance removed and you are directly discovered as Sarupa, you discovered that you are Sadeva, iti abhipretya, intending that, with this, keeping this in mind, Navakritvaha, 9 times, Kritvas means times, 9 times, Upadisha. So, Father, that means I have, here we have to say I, because Tava has told. So, or the Guru, the Father, taught to his son. Now, SVETAKETU has directly discovered. At the first instance, that mutual identification, Adhyasa, Hridaya Granthi had got snapped off. But doubts were there. So now doubts cleared and he has directly discovered his Swarupa. That is told in the Shruti 6:16:3. That it means it is given as Tadha Asya Vijidnyau. Tad means that Brahmatmaikya. Taught by who? Father. Asya means his own Brahmatmaika Swarupa. SVETAKETU, what did he do? Vijidnyau, Vidnyatava. He directly discovered. Because he had that ready frame of mind, but problems are what? That scholarliness, because of that ego was there and extrovertedness was there. So with that, so this got dispelled. So therefore this is the result now. Bhinna granthi shvetaketur manana chinna samshayaha. Sadadvaitam swamatmanam visheshena vabuddhavan. Bhinna granthihi SVETAKETuhu. Bhinna granthi here is name of SVETAKETU, adjective that. The SVETAKETU whose Hridaya Granthi was Bhinna. When at the first Shravana, which first Shravana? First time when the father said Tattvamasi with all this introduction, making him understand the Sat is the Karana of the Jagat and giving Atma Avabodha sadhana for him to ascertain what the true I is, proving the cause of the Jagat as nothing but Sat, Jagat is false. Having known the cause Jagat, cause of Jagat Sat, Jagat is known. And then, but by this itself what happens? The Jivatva doesn't go. So Jiva Swarupa is nothing but Atma with 3 means that were given. And in that, it having ascertained that Brahma, you are at that first Shravana itself, what happened? Hridaya Granthi Bhinna. So that is his Hridaya Granthi. What is the Hridaya Granthi? Adhyasa of Antakarna and Atma. The mutual superimposition between Antakarna and the Atma. So that had already snapped off when before this Drishtanta were being given. So therefore, that SVETAKETU whose Hridaya Granthi was destroyed, now when these Drishtantas were given, Drishtanta Dashtantika analysis was that was conducted by who? Father. So now Manana, by Manana. What is that Manana? Drishtanta Darshtantika Samalochana Rupa. in terms of inquiry or analysis of Drishtantas and Darshtantika. By Manana, what happened? Chinna Samshayaha. He became the one whose all doubts got dispelled. All doubts got dispelled. Chinna Samshaya. And thereby what happened now? He discovered his Swarupa. Swam Atmanam Sadadvaitam Visheshena Avabuddhavan. So, Avabuddhavan, he got the knowledge, discovered directly. Whom? Swam Atmanam, his own Atma Swarupa. As how? Sad Advaitam. My Swarupa, I am not the body, etc. My Swarupa is what? Sad, which is Advaita. That means he got its knowledge. Avabuddhavan means he got the knowledge. But how? Not simply knowledge. Visheshena. That Visheshena is that. What is that Visheshena? With some excellence. What is that excellence? Brahmatmaikya parokshena. Not paroksha jnana, not that picking up. Because Shraddha in the Father is there. Not that, oh, I am Brahma, I am free. Not that way. Not just the words as such. Aparokshataya. So that directly, that is Brahmatmaikya parokshena. With aparoksha jnana, that my Atma Sarupa is Brahma only. So that is what Vishesha, the excellence that is there in this knowledge. Means not paroksha, not just picking up information. Avabuddhavan, he got the knowledge. So in this way, the father taught to his son. So that means Uddalaka was not an ordinary person. He himself was a great master. So he taught it. So now this chapter is being concluded. Before that, correct it. SVETAKETUR Brahma Vidya is there. Tu correct to to. SVETAKETUR Brahma Vidya. SVETAKETUR Brahma Vidya Vyakhyaata Sputametaya. तुष्टोस्माननुगृह्णातु विद्यातीर्थमहेश्वरः एतया श्वेतकेतोः ब्रह्मविद्यया एतया श्वेतकेतोः ब्रह्मविद्यया स्फुटम् No, not Vidya, Vidya. Not Vidyaya, Vidya. Etaya Shvetaketoho Brahma Vidya. Not Vidyaya, Brahma Vidya. Sputam Vyakhyata. Sputam Vyakhyata. Add Anena Vidya, Anena Tushtaha. Tushtaha. Vidyatirtha Maheshwaraha. Asman Anugrihnatu. Asman Anugrihnatu. Etaya, by this. What is this? Who is saying this? Not from Chandogya. Author Vidyaranya. Means Etaya means Vyakhyaya. By this exposition, by this explanation, which I have now composed in terms of these 139 stanzas as a commentary on the 6th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, where Shvetaketu was taught by his own father about the Atma Sarupa, Brahma Sarupa, about Brahma Vidya. So, Etaya, Shvetaketoho Brahma Vidya. Shvetaketu's Brahma Vidya means what? The Brahma Vidya obtained by Shvetaketu, or Brahma Vidya taught to Shvetaketu. That way, Shvetaketoho Brahma Vidya. Like Nachiketa's Brahma Vidya, what is that Nachiketa? Yamaraja, what are the knowledge imparted to who? Nachiketa. So that knowledge imparted to Shvetaketu. Vyakhyata is explained. Anena, by this exposition, by this explanation, Tushtaha Vidyatirtha Maheshwaraha. Vidyatirtha Maheshwara. Maheshwara, Lord Shiva, who is the very abode of what? All the Vidyas. Tushtaha, one who is pleased. Why who is pleased? Because such a great knowledge is now explained in a very simple term. So therefore Lord himself. And who is that Lord? Shiva means who? Parameshwara. Parameshwara means who? Sat Brahma from the standpoint of creation, being pleased. Remember, he will not What? You are teaching Brahma Vidya? And, and what are you doing? Asking them to discover Brahma Sarupa. My Sankalpa will go wrong. What my Sankalpa? Bahu Bhavana Sankalpa will go wrong. No, he is happy. That's what it is. And Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna said, the one who imparts this knowledge to a deserving person, so I am as if he is, I am worshipped by knowledge, by him in terms of knowledge. He's happy, Lord becomes what? And happy, do you know why? And from entire creation, one file is closed. So, for Ishvara, one file will be less for handling. Yamaraja also will be happy because he is the deputy there. So, Marana, etc., he has to handle, etc. So, one file is closed. So, that's how it is. Of course, that is the way. Parameshwara is not bored of anything, okay? Why? By everything by Sankalpa. Srishti also Sankalpa. Sthiti also Sankalpa. Samhara also Sankalpa. You know, as per Puranas, who is the one who looks after Sthiti? Vishnu. And have you seen his photograph? Mast Ram, what is that? On Adishesha, what? He reclines. Suppose you were asked to attend some function and you are the master of the ceremony, you have to arrange everything. I think 2 dozens of what? Tranquilizers will not suffice. So much what? Tents and all that. So he is high, Mast Ram is there. Why? Just by presence, everything takes place. That is the real boss, you know. Who is the real boss? One who simply sits in the cabin, everyone is active. Moment he goes, cat is out, rats are enjoying. But he is the one who simply by presence makes everything. Not the one who runs after, hey, do this. He is a supervisor. So not a boss. So therefore, one who looks after the sthiti just by presence sankalpa. So therefore here, Vidyatirtha Maheshwara, Lord Shiva. So the one who will be pleased by that, pleased by this exposition, what he may he do, Asman Anugrihnatu. May he bless us all. May he bless us all means what? So for those who are studying, may they gain the knowledge and that way make their life worthy, fruitful. And also, me also bless me. Why? This exposition, he had, look here, Vidyaranya Muni has not written this as a sadhana for him, out of compassion for others. So that when he will be pleased, if this exposition is made use by maximum people in posterity and they get liberated. So that means that capacity also must be there where in this exposition. So may he bless me also, may bless the students, Mumukshus also, Vidyatirtha Maheshwaraha. So we have seen this Vidyatirtha Maheshwara. It can be indirectly, can be to his Guru also, but better take as Lord Shiva because the abode of the Shiva is said to be the abode of all the Vidyas. Also music, Shiva is called Nada Tanu. Nada Tanu. Music also is attributed to him. So this way, so how it started? SVETAKEtu returned home from Gurukula with all air of arrogance and as if he is a great scholar. So if in the place of Uddalaka, some other parents were there, what would have happened? They also would have said, see, my son, see how he is educated, etc. And they also would have, and that means what? Developed some ego as such. But Uddalaka being what it is, he wanted to help the student, help the son to, by making him discover his Swarupa. So that's what that Akhyayika. So he asked, have you asked your Guru, having known it, everything else is known? No. So that shows what? There is something having known which all else is known. That in the Akhyayika indicates that unless Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana is gained, however much knowledge may be amassed, it is not worth that. So that is what is said. So therefore, who the SVETAKEtu asks, is there such a thing? Certainly. So I don't mean that if you know A, B, C, D, E, F, all they are known. No. if Karna Vijnanena Karya Vijnanam Bhavati. This was proved with the help of Mrittika Itteva Satyam, the Ghata. So, all the parts are effect, false, Mrittika alone is true, that was proved. So now, and in that context, what is Shravana? Because this is not to prove that simply Karana Jnanena Karya Jnanam Bhavati, but the purpose is to make SVETAKETU discover the Karana Jagat of the, Karana of the Jagat, which is Sat, which is his Swarupa, because he is part and parcel of Jagat. So that is what the purpose was, for which proper inquiry has to be taken to, proper reflection, manana has to be taken to. By nididhyasana, one has to discover directly what it is. So therefore, what is Shravana, what is manana, what is nididhyasana was explained in stanza 27. Shravanam Guru Shastra Abhyam. Teaching from a Guru in strictly in accordance with the Shastra. Mananam Swayukti Bhi. Manana is by what? By own argument. Teaching also takes care of this manana. Vijnanam Swanubhutya. Vijnana is by Swanubhuti, by direct discovery of oneself. So with this Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana were described. So now, Uddalaka has to show who SVETAKETU that Jagat Karna is Sat Brahma. So first he introduced what is the Sat Brahma? Sadeva Some Idamagra Asid. Ekameva Dvitiya. Means that principle which is free from Saja Swagata, Sajatiya, Vijatiya Bheda. That alone is Sat. It can be only the Sarvavyapi, all-pervasive Chaitanya Tattva only. That is the Sat. So that is, but this creation was before it came into existence. What was it? It was nothing but Sat only. In that context, a doubt also he dispelled. What was the doubt? Some say Asadeva Idam Agra Asit. So what is that? The Asat, non-existence, Shunya is the cause of the Jagat. Sunny, how is it possible? If Shunya is the cause, how is it ever possible from a non-existent thing, some existent thing can be born? It's not possible. Not only that, another problem is there. What is the problem? If non-existent Shunya were the cause of the entire Jagat, in the Jagat that is effect, what should in here? Is not there Shunya? It should, that is what it should in here. What is called Shunya Vedaha. Shunya Veda means that non-existence should continue in the Jagat. On the contrary, what we find here? Sadvedaha. Sadveda means the existence is continuous. That proves that the Karana, the Jagat is not Asat, but it is only Sat. So now having that base made him understand that Asat cannot be the cause, Sat only. But how do you say that the Sat is such a Vastu called Sat is the cause of the Jagat, for which he took the help of creation? How exactly creation? Not exactly how creation, because it is not a precise thing, but some understanding as to how it has taken place. So Sankalpa of Sat, that Bahu Bhavana was there, and from there what happened? The totally up to the embodiment level, how it went on becoming many. At each step what was shown? Karya is the same as the Karana. If you know the Karana, Karya is known. Karya has no separate existence. It is false in nature. So it was up to the embodiment level. And then with these embodiments and all these are inert in nature, Pravesha. What is Pravesha? Availability of Chidabhasa, reflected Chaitanya in this embodiment. That means that was creation was over. Why the creation was given? Not to show that there is a creation. Adhyaropa, super in Sat Brahma, which can never change, which is non-dual, where there is nothing other than that. The false creation was projected only to negate for, what is that? Apavada. Aropa, superimposition was meant for Apavada. So that means inquiry was conducted. How it was conducted? So at each level, the Jagat was reduced to its cause. And what is that cause? It is nothing but Sat Brahma only. With this, SVETAKETU got the knowledge. What knowledge he got? Sat is the Karana of the Jagat. If you know Sat, what happens? Jagat is known. You did not bother about that separately. But this knowledge, with this, one topic is over. What is that? Jagat, Sat as the Karana of the Jagat. But that itself is not sufficient to remove the Jivatva of the individual, Samsaritva of the individual. How it can go? For that, what is to be taken to? The Jiva is nothing but Brahma has to be discovered. So for that, what is that? So the father started with the explanation of sleep. Because first what should be done? Me, Atma has to be known, and that Atma is Brahma will be pointed out by who? Shruti has said. So for Atma Avabodha, Atma Avagati, Trini Dwarani, three sadhanas were given. One was Chichaya, means Jiva. Second was Sthula Deha. Third was Indriyani. In the case of Chichaya, that is Jiva, so by pointing out the sleep, the Swarupa is what? Atma was, that is proved. How? Sleep means Swapiti. Lay persons take Swapiti means a person sleeps. But actually it is what? So the Vivekis take it as a name of the person who sleeps. Who is that? Swam Apiti. The one who has become one with one's own Swarupa, Sat Swarupa, he is Swapiti. That's why in sleep, all thing gets negated. What is there on this? Sata Sampadyati becomes identical, one with Sat. So therefore Swapiti points out the Swarupa as nothing but Sat Swarupa Brahma. That is one Dwara. Second was the Sthula Deha. There these two words were analyzed. What is that? Ashanaya Pipasa. You take Ashanaya. Ashanaya, common people take it as what? Hunger. So here Ashitam Nayati iti Ashanaya means water. So that is what? Whatever that is eaten, that is carried. How? Dravikritya. By liquidizing it. Means it is water. So the food eaten is, that is what? Assimilated and afterward carried to the body in terms of what? Mausa, etc. Nutrition is given, and that is the job of who? The water. So therefore, the food when eaten, because of the water becomes wind mausa. Wind mausa means utpat, that is the indication, mausa, etc. For the entire body it becomes. So therefore, from the food, the body is born. What is for this body, which is wind mausa, etc. What is the cause? Anna. So therefore, what is the cause of Anna? Water. For food, water must be there. What is the cause of water? Teja. Teja is a principle that has got existence in it. So that way, Sat must be the cause. So that was from Sthula Deha through Ashanaya. What was arrived was Sat alone is the Swarupa of this Deha. Then Pipasa. Actually it is the same inquiry, but the Pipasa word was taken. Pipasa, other synonym for that is Udanya. What is Udanya? Udakam Nayati Shoshayati. That which dries up, carries water means dries up the water. So then what happens? So that means the water that is drunk with the fire, therefore Udanya means what? Fire. So fire. So water that is drunk becomes what? Mutra and Rakta, because after digestion by the fire. So Mutra, Rakta. Mutra, Rakta, where are they? In the body. So therefore, through this Mutra, Rakta, what you can infer? There is fire in the body. Cause is what? Fire. So from fire, Sat. Sat, from fire, Sat. The question is, same inquiry you conducted in the case of Ashanaya. Why separately? Only to point out a rule that from Karya, you can arrive at the Karna, that is what is Sat. Thirdly was the Indriyas as the Atmavabodha Sadhana. Indriyas as Atmavabodha Sadhana. These Indriyas also are like Bahya Bhautikaha, things made up of element. They are also product of element. So therefore, how they merge finally in how their cause is nothing but Sat was pointed out by explaining the Marana Krama. So Marana Krama. So finally, what happens? Indriyas merge in the Manaha, Manaha in the Prana, Prana in the Teja, Teja in Sat. So that way also Atma, that means Indriyas as the Atma Avagati Sadhana Dwara was that given. So with this, so what is that Sat is what? O SVETAKETU, who is that? Viridi, it is your Swarupa. So that was pointed out. And then SVETAKETU had few doubts. So though Hridaya Granthi was snapped off, but still doubts were there because still he was lacking in Shraddha and the extrovertedness was there. So one by one the 8 doubts were discussed. So what were the doubts? First was, if Sat Sampatti, if in sleep the person becomes one with Sat, why does he not know at that time? Answer was what? Sarvalaya means Jnana Samagris are absent and therefore he cannot know. The example of honey was given. Second was, Maybe at that time he doesn't know, but after getting up, why does he not know? So, for that also answer is given. When he becomes one with Sat, at that time he didn't know that I am one with Sat because of absence of Jnana Samagri. Therefore, recollection is not possible about something which is not experienced earlier. So, therefore, so that means that even after waking up, he is not able to know it. So, for which Ganga Jala example was also given. Third is, if the Jiva is destructible, we find in the ocean, etc., the waves, etc., get destroyed. Once they merge with the final cause, they don't arise again. But the Jiva, every day after from sleep, he comes up. Even after Marana, again he, that means takes embodiment. Again after Pralaya, again he takes birth. How is it? He said Jiva is not Nashvara. So Jiva doesn't get destroyed. What gets destroyed is what? The body, which was explained with the help of the tree, where the branches were cut. Only the branch that is cut gets dried, not entire tree, because Jiva continues to be there. The fourth doubt is, so the Jagat is Sthula, Sat Brahma is Sukshma, Jagat is Nama Rupa Sahita, Sukshma, the Sat Brahma is Nama Rupa Rahita. How is it possible from the Brahma of such nature, the Jagat of opposed nature is possible? So for that, the banyan seed example is given. It was there in the unmanifest form. The fifth doubt is, if Maranakrama is that, if Jagat is, not Maranakrama, that is afterward. So, if Jagat is the effect of Brahma, Sat, Brahma is the cause of Jagat. Jagat we encounter with, its cause also must be there. Why not all people gain the knowledge? Only Mumukshu only gain. Well, that answer was what? So, though Brahma is there, by only a specific upaya means only the knowledge can be gained. For what is that upaya? That was the sixth question, sixth doubt. What is that upaya to gain the knowledge of Brahma? Gandhara Marga. So Gandhara Marga. So that retrace, that means reaching the Gandhara Marga based on the instruction of a guidance of the route of a given by a Kripalu person. So that way, so that is the upaya. In that context, one more thing was there. Even after gaining the knowledge, what happens? We find this fellow knocking around here. He has not become one with the Sat. Tasya tavadeva chiram yavanna vimokshi. That prarabdha karma has to get exhausted. Then Sat Sampati is there. Even here, so long as the body is there also, he is muktaha only. But still the body continues. But that totally goes, and Videha Mukti. Sat Sampati there is, Videha Mukti is only after this. What is that? The body, prarabdha gets exhausted. So then the further question, seventh doubt was, if Maranakrama is same for both Ajnani and Ajnani, why the Jnani gets liberated, no rebirth? Ajnani continues samsara, he gets reborn. How is it? So that is that, because of, that is the question. So that is Vailakshanyam, that we know. The seventh doubt was, how the Jnani dies. How the Jnani dies. Answer was, just like Ajnani. Then the eighth question is, if he dies just like Ajnani, if there is no distinction between the order of the death of both of these, why one gets liberated, who Jnani gets liberated, and not the Ajnani? So that was told Satyabhisandatva and Anritabhisandatva, explained by the help of the Drishtanta of Tapta Parashu. So Ajnani takes himself to be Martyaha and Jagat as false. Jnani knows Brahmahamasmi, Jagat as false. So therefore Jnani is liberated and Ajnani is reborn. And the purpose again of repeating 9 times, that was told, it is only for removal of the Dhidosha Samshaya. But the truth, what was revealed in the first time Tattvamasi, that alone is there. There is nothing addition to that by repetition as such. So with this, SVETAKETU's Hridaya Granthi were only at the first time Shravana only Hridaya Granthis were snapped off. By Manana, Samshayas got destroyed, and afterwards he directly discovered his Swarupa. So may Lord Vidya Maheshwara bless us all. Okay. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayanta Nyayena Margena Mahim Maheshaha Go Brahmanebhyo Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanya Prithivi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Shobharahita Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om